We've been walking for hours. We've got to quicken our pace. The Lich King is defenseless without us.
I left many of my warriors at Icecrown before I came to find you, Death Knight. They will hold the line for as long as they are able.
Tell me, where are all of your people? Shouldn't there be Nerubians around here, undead or otherwise?
I've been wondering about that myself. Something must have driven them all off.
We did, you rotting bastards! We've been watching you all along!
Muradin's dwarves. Impossible. Doesn't anyone stay dead anymore?
We've been wandering this forsaken land ever since you killed Muradin and left us to rot Arthas. Our leader, Baelgun, led us into the ruined city to survive. But there's no way we're letting you in.
We have no time for these games. Saphiron, attack! Well done, mighty Saphiron. I wish we could take you with us, but the confines of the Dark Earth are no place for you.
The Lich King's time is running short. We must hurry.
What is it now? Finally.
For Khazmodan!
No one orders me around.
No choice.
What is it now?
A pint for every ghoul you blast!
Born hunger. Speak, fool. Finally. Tread lightly.
Set off the charges! Blow the bridge before they get across!
No! Stop them before they...
That was for Muradin. Now you'll never get across.
There are other passages through the labyrinth, Death Knight. We will find another way. I've heard the summons.
No one orders me around. At last. Tread lightly. Speak, fool.
Speak.
Frostborn hunger. What is it now? Tread lightly. What is it now?
Proceed.
Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. This is more like it.
Time is fleeting.
Gold. We should take this with us. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly.
I serve only the frozen throne.
No one orders me around. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Finally. This is more like it. These Nerubians are your kin. Why are they hostile to us?
Many of us who fell during the War of the Spider were brought back to serve the Lich King. These warriors, however, never died. Foolishly, they still fight to liberate Narub from the Scourge. Only the frozen throne. I'll see to it. Time is fleeting. Feel the venom of Narub.
No one knows me around.
You ran.
More gold. This might help us later. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Finally.
Indubitably. I'll see to it. By Narub. Oblivion awaits. Speak.
Tread lightly. This is more like... This place looks like an old storage silo. It's a dead end, Nubarak.
There must be a hidden passage somewhere. We Nerubians were crafty engineers in our time.
What is it now? Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it.
This is an ancient Nerubian hoarding cell. We kept most of our treasures hidden in chambers like this. The passage to the lower depths lies just beyond this room.
Great. As long as we're here, we can take some of these items with us. This is more like it. Finally.
My might
More gold. Take all you can carry. Ah, at last. This is more like it.
Our forces are under attack.
I serve only the frozen throne.
Speak, fool. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers.
Time is fleeting. Kinky. I'll consume the living and the dead. Feel the venom of Narub.
Tread lightly. What is it now?
I have heard the summons. Indubitably.
Speak, fool. Your pain shall be
Time
legendary.
is fleeting. Kinky.
Don't even try it, you bastard! That there treasure belongs to the dwarves!
This treasure belongs to the Lich King, little creature. We, his servants, shall take what we will.
No one orders me around. What is it? Ah, at last. No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. What is it now? Ah, at last.
This is for Maradin, you bastards!
Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
Time is fleeting. Indubitably.
Speak, fool.
I have heard the summons.
What is it now?
Time is fleeting.
Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers.
It's them! Blast them!
What is it? Ah, at last. Tread lightly. What is it now? Tread lightly. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. What is it now? No one orders me around.
Damned undead! Slay 'em all!
I'll make sure you suffer. Ah, at last. Finally.
I have heard the summons. I'll consume the living
Speak,
and
fool.
the dead.
This is more like it. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers.
Shoot anything that shuffles or skitters!
Ah, at last. What is it?
Time is fleeting. I'll see to it.
No one orders me around. Speak, fool. No one orders me around.
I have heard the summons. Cheeky.
Speak, fool. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around.
I remember you, evil prince. You're the one that killed poor Nuradin.
Get over it already.
I won't let you through this door, traitor. The recent quakes have awakened dark things under the ice. Ancient, horrid things. We vowed to keep them locked where they are.
We'll take our chances, dwarf. We're going through that door, one way or another. This is more like it. What is it now? No one orders me around.
I serve only the frozen throne.
What is it now?
I've heard the summons. Choice.
No one orders me around. Tread lightly. No one orders me around.
I serve only
Tread
the
lightly.
frozen throne.
Ah, at last. Finally.
I've heard the summons.
Speak, fool. What is it now? This is more like it.
My
Speak.
might cannot be matched.
Frostmourne hungers.
Time is fleeting.
What is it now? Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Finally. The air smells awful in here. Something doesn't feel right.
If the dwarf's story was true, there's no telling what awaits us in the darkness. This stairwell leads into the heart of the old Nerubian Empire. We must be cautious.
By all means. You first.
We have entered the old kingdom. Be wary, Death Knight. Whatever scared the dwarves still lurks down here somewhere.
What is it now? Ah, at last. Finally. This is more
Wait. The towers on either side are rigged to fire bolts of frost. This hallway is a death trap.
Can't we disable them?
The circular hatch in the far wall is an aqueduct plug. If we can open it, the water might flood the firing mechanisms and disable the entire trap.
Finally. Speak, fool. Ah, at last.
My might cannot be matched.
Tread lightly. Gold. We should take this with us. This is more like it. Finally.
I serve only the frozen throne.
Tread lightly. This is more pathetic. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. This is more like it. That's done it. Let's move. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers.
Look, brothers. The traitor king.
Who? Me?
He is referring to me, Death Knight. These Nerubians will stop at nothing to destroy us.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool.
Time is fleeting.
No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers. Ah,
Thank you, Great One. The rebel spiders captured my comrades as well. They're being held in a nearby chamber. Release them, and they will be yours to command. Might cannot be
speak,
matched.
fool. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers.
You rang.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. Frostmourne hungers.
Speak. Indubitably. I'll consume the living
No one
and
orders
the
me
dead.
around. Ah, at last. Finally. Ah, at last.
I serve only the frozen throne.
Tread lightly. The Guardians are activating. Defend yourselves. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Ah, at last. I'll make sure you suffer. This is more like it. Finally.
Slay the intruders.
Speak, fool. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Finally.
I have heard the summons. Make your choice.
Tread lightly. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. What is it now?
I await.
No one orders me
Speak.
around.
Proceed. Make
What is
your
it now?
choice.
This is more like it.
My might cannot be matched.
Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers.
You rang.
Tread lightly. Ah, at last.
I have heard the summons. Death to the servants of Ner'zhul. My eggs of our young are incubated within those breeding pods. There's no telling how many vicious hatchlings they hold.
You are right. They're definitely hostile. We've got to destroy the breeding pods.
We could also seal the doors to shut the hatchlings in. I have heard the summons.
Your pain shall be legendary. You will know endless torment. Ah, at last. I'll make sure you suffer.
My might cannot be matched. Wait.
What is it now? Finally. You will know endless torment. Speak, fool. This is more like it. What is it now? Finally. Speak, fool.
Time is
Tread
fleeting.
lightly. Frostmourne hungers.
Proceed. The time
Speak,
is
fool.
now.
This is more like it. Finally.
I await.
What is it now? Ah, at last.
Make your choice. Drive the foul undead back to the surface.
Speak,
My might cannot be matched.
what is it now?
I serve only the frozen throne.
No one orders me around.
Speak.
Speak, fool. Ah, at last. This is more like it.
I have heard the summons. Indubitably. By
No one orders me around. For the Lich King.
You rang. I might serve only the frozen
What is
throes.
it now? Finally.
My might cannot.
What the hell are they?
They are the horrors the dwarves spoke of. I thought they were only legends.
What?
They are the faceless ones. I have heard the summons.
Tread lightly. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Finally.
Time is fleeting.
What is it now?
Our forces are under attack.
My might cannot be matched.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me around.
I serve only the frozen throne.
Tread lightly. This is more like it.
My might cannot be matched.
What is it now?
You rang. It cannot be a forgotten one. Look to your defenses, Death Knights. Fight as you've never fought before. Yes,
Tread
Master.
lightly.
Our forces are under
Frostborn
attack.
hungers. What is it now? This is more like it.
I have heard the summons.
No one orders me around. Slash. Frostborn hungers.
I have heard the summons. We cannot take them all. Hurry, Death Knight! Up the stairwell! Hurry!
We're running out of time, Anubarak. How far are we from the exit?
Not far. We have entered the Upper Kingdom. The exit should lead us to the base of the glacier itself. However, there are still hidden traps and pitfalls to account for.
Take cover!
Yes.
The entire passage collapsed. There's no time to dig through this. I'll have to move quickly and find my own way out. Hopefully Anubarak and the others survived. What is it now? Your pain shall be legendary.
Inventory.
At last. I'll be singed if I get too close to those flames. Frostmourne hungers. I'll need this gold for when I reach the glacier. Frostmourne hungers. More of Larubian's blasting mechanisms. I'll have to time this perfectly. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Another quake? Your pain shall be legendary. For the Lich King. At last. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Your pain shall be legendary. Frostmourne hungers. At last. What is it? This is more like it. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. Tread lightly. Now, Frostmourne. At last. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. I must find a way across this strange obstacle. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Finally. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Fateless coward. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Finally. Ah, at last. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Now, Frostmourne. Anubarak, you made it.
I see now why the Lich King chose you as his champion, Death Knight. Few men could have survived this labyrinth alone.
No one orders me around. What is it now? No one orders me around.
Another earthquake. We must hurry, Death Knight.
You will know endless torment. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. Something's breaking through. Defensive positions! Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool.
Wait. I serve only the frozen
What is it
throne.
now? For the Lich King. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it.
My might cannot be matched. I have heard the summons.
No one will dispute around. Tread lightly.
Proceed.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. This
We're
is
running out of time. We must find the exit.
What is it now? Speak. More gold. This might help us later. Finally. Ah, at last. This is more.
They're blocking the way to the exit. We'll have to fight our way through them to reach it. I'll consume the living and the dead.
Frostmourne. What is it now? Finally.
My might cannot be matched.
At last. Oh, this is more like it. Tread lightly. No one orders me around.
Speak. King.
Inventory is full.
Speak, fool. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it.
Now quickly, head through that door. The exit to the surface lies just beyond.
It'll be good to see the sun again.
Remember, Illidan and the true battle still await us in the world above. Hopefully our trek through the Dark Earth brought us the precious time we needed.